Welcome back, episode 30 of Revisited, and we got in our new place, like we said last time, new setup, whatever. It might sound a little different. Also a new recording setup, so things might look a little different. Who knows? Back to DBZimran. We got to finish up Bleach Month.
Do we?
Yeah.
We've done enough. We've done our time. Legit, what have we done? Like 3 videos?
2. Well, no, we did 3. We did both the Eyepatch Wolves, but that was 1 video for us.
That's 3. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Especially for a series that we both just really don't care that much about.
And so we don't have to do this one. I agree.
I didn't say that part.
No, that's what we were leading to.
You know what I got up to do originally? Grab me some water.
Oh, ain't gonna be no talking in this, so it's just gonna be fine.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about his synopsis. So, back to DBZimran or Iran or however you say it. For anybody that doesn't know, we had a little bit of a kerfluffle with him, little skirmish. We revisited one of his videos, and he came to the comments, and at first it was just kind of like whatever, and then he started going off about stuff. He ran to Twitter, got his Twitter followers involved, which I think is the reason we're debating that guy. Because I think he heard from Rand what we did and just came to us and was like, I'll debate you guys and I'll debate this out of you and blah, blah, blah. So we're in the middle of a big Bleach debate with one of the fans. So, dude, it went on for like 3 hours of just going back and forth with him and his fans. And look, if you like Bleach, that's cool. But y'all act so ridiculous.
Yeah. No, it's the defending mentality. Because something like, if somebody goes, I don't like Yu Yu Hakusho, I'd be like, oh, why don't you like it? But if somebody like I don't like Bleach, you feel like you need to defend it because it's something that it's so many people pile up on it that you feel like you need to defend it. Instead of just going, oh, word, let's talk about this. They just go, rah, and just come up here at a level 10 out the gate.
Yeah. And we got level 10. So, let's just get into it, I guess.
Bleach's fall is a catastrophic failure the likes of which have never occurred in Shonen Jump before.
However, what Ichigo was very much missing is something that is essential to almost all major shonen protagonists, which is a desire.
Okay, so it seems like there were other people besides Wolf that were going against him?
No, see, he's already just going, look at all these people trashing Bleach, I need to defend it.
At the same time, why is he presenting this like it's a documentary? It's not
Because it is.
It's not actually a documentary. Like, did he go out and get interviews with people, or
does that constitute a documentary? Because you could just look at some penguins and that's a documentary.
I don't know.
Let's look up the definition of documentary.
Yeah,
we gotta talk about something here.
Yeah, I don't know if this would constitute a documentary by its definition. Maybe it does. Boy, you got some slow typing fingers.
I'm very cold. Consisting of official pieces of written, printed, or other matter.
It's not official.
Consisting of official. So, as long as he references the official...
Let me see this. Documentary that provides a factual record or report.
Yeah. Here's what happened in Bleach. And that's what we're gonna get.
Yeah, but he's gonna throw his analysis in there, which is not factual.
It can be seen as factual.
Now, there are definitely documentaries that skew one way or another, but I don't think this is a documentary.
It's a better title than just Screw You, Eyepatch Wolf. Bleach actually real good, though.
Started out so promising, being just another riff on Dragon Ball was never really going to cut it. This is where Bleach begins to unravel.
Who's that dude that said it was a riff on Dragon Ball?
This is so wrong.
This is not Dragon Ball, dude. Oh man, I would love to revisit that guy.
Bleach came in dead last place, and this is not the first time that it happened. And a lot of the complaints people have been having, Bleach is boring, Bleach is dragging out. A lot of people have been going in on Bleach.
Tite Kubo began his career as a mangaka in 1996. However, he would not gain major recognition and success until the publication of his manga series Bleach in 2001. He had the desire to draw a series about Shinigami who wear black kimonos. Having this concept in mind, he quickly drafted a character concept design, which would eventually become Rukia Kuchiki. Kubo decided to name his new series Bleach, as the name would evoke thoughts of the color white, which complements the black kimonos that the Shinigami wear. Bleach ran in Weekly Shonen Jump from August 2001 to August 2016. Running for 15 years, the series spanned over 74 manga volumes. Following the success of the manga series, an anime adaptation began in 2004. The anime ran until March 2012, adapting all but the final arc of the manga. Bleach has sold over 90 million manga volumes in Japan and over 120 million copies worldwide. Bleach is ranked as the 10th best-selling manga series in history. With all of this success and obvious appeal of the Bleach media franchise, why is it that I bring attention upon its reputation? The misconceptions and myths infer that the popularity of Bleach dwindled with time, the sales diminished, the Bleach anime series apparently was cancelled, the author became lazier with each...
Okay, it wasn't canceled. Whoops, hit the wrong button. It wasn't canceled, but it definitely got lowered.
Definitely.
It wasn't as popular.
Yeah, that's factual.
Because it sold less, the ratings went down. What is there to say? Now look, every series has a peak and contraction. There's nothing wrong with contraction. You're gonna play an online game, and within 2 years, it might go down from like 30,000 daily players to like 1,500, whatever. It happens, and that means that its popularity has dwindled. That's all.
Yeah, Fall Guys is factually less popular
Than when it was at its peak.
There's Steam numbers of here's how many people were playing at the time, and it's like a quarter to half of what it was in its height, but it's still really popular. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but it definitely dwindled. Like, it can't be disputed that.
I don't see what's the point of bringing this up. Some stuff that I really like Scat Dance. Scat Dance is one of my favorite manga of all time. I literally don't know how the sales figures were. It was good from the beginning to end, and it was just like, okay, this is a manga where it's a school thing and they're graduating. This is a logical end. It's not like it was canceled or anything. I don't know if it was gangbusters. I don't know if it was selling 3. I don't care. I don't feel a need to bring this stuff up.
I think when other people bring it up is when they start going, yeah, but. So, it dwindled in its sales. Yeah, but 10th highest selling. Yeah, so I think that's what it is. I personally don't care about sales, though.
Read Scat Dance. It's really good.
I will someday. Honestly, I will.
Bleach is ranked as the 10th best-selling manga series in history. With all of this success and obvious appeal of the Bleach media franchise, why is it that I bring attention upon its reputation? The misconceptions and myths infer that the popularity of Bleach dwindled with time, the sales diminished, the Bleach anime series apparently was cancelled, the author became lazier with each passing chapter, plotlines were apparently recycled by Kubo, and the most damning statement claiming Bleach has little to no character development. All of these claims are stitched together to force through a sensational narrative that Bleach fell from grace. This video will directly address the misconceptions which have spread throughout the anime community regarding Bleach. I in no way by making this video claim that the series is without its flaws. I love this series, but I can list off several plausible issues that I have with it, as I can with One Piece, Naruto, or any other series. Everything should be open to fair criticism in my opinion.
Yeah, you say several plausible things. I'm using a wireless keyboard, so pausing is going to be a little delayed. You're saying several plausible things. Yeah, and what is... So, you're basically going, the things that I say are plausible, but the things that other people say about it are not. Yeah. Even when they are factually true. Like, it dwindled in popularity. That is a fact. That doesn't mean, even if it goes from 100 popular to a 98 popular, it still dwindled in popularity. That is just a fact.
It may still be popular, but it did dwindle in popularity.
And as far as character development, that's wrong. I don't know who's saying that Bleach has no character development.
Yeah, that's completely hyperbolic.
the problem with a lot of YouTubers are super hyperbolic. They love that, like...
It's very catchy to say it has no...
Yeah. Looking at you, Cosmo. Did you see that comment recently?
Yes.
Well, it's like...
And then just no reply. Because of course not. You guys don't understand characters. Like, what?
Spread throughout the anime community regarding Bleach. I in no way by making this video claim that the series is without its flaws.
It'll pause. I have a USB extender. If you want to just put your normal keyboard.
Oh, yeah, that'll work.
I love this series, but I can list off several plausible issues that I have with it. As I can with One Piece, Naruto, or any other series, everything should be open to fair criticism in my opinion.
Do you think he's going to list off problems and concerns and criticism?
Absolutely. I think it's going to be a very small section of it, or he might throw it in once in a while where Wolf said this. If he would have actually said this, it would have been more plausible.
He talks about the wolf thing for like 10 minutes.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think it's just going to be like, Ichigo does this, but it's not very good because of this. But it is good because it is.
Like he did with the last one.
Just bury the negatives.
I do, however, draw a line when it comes to ill-founded myths and misconceptions, which push a particular narrative which negatively impacts the series in question. The extent of the misinformation and myths spread about Bleach have inspired me to create this video. Through this video, my aim is to answer, was the tarnishing of Bleach's reputation justified? Let's find out.
You cut that audio out kind of hard. Really bad.
I'm guessing this was a copyrighted song and now it is silent.
Of course, it's not official. Wow.
Oh my goodness, we got it. Where's Dirty Boots? Keep an eye out for her. Where's our girl? Here she comes. Dirty Boots? No, that's not Dirty Boots.
That was Dirty Boots in the corner.
Okay, good.
I don't know what part of that is good, but it definitely was Dirty Boots.
The fact that she's there, the fact that people remember her. We gotta talk about something.
Dude, it is still going. Are you getting like this wavy thing now? What a Bleach monster!
Oh,
What
100%
tarnished the
saw.
reputation of Bleach. The initial complaints would surface during and directly after the conclusion of the arc, which ironically skyrocketed Bleach's popularity to astronomical levels. The arc in question is of course the Arrancar arc. The arc concluded with the defeat of Aizen, the main antagonist of the series, which the story was heavily reliant upon. Many people began to criticize Kubo's writing through how he wrote Aizen as a character. Some examples of criticism include how it was just as Aizen planned, or how it was according to Aizen's plan all along whenever Kubo needed a convenient plot point to occur.
Yeah, that's really boring. Every single time, like, we got a leg up on Aizen. No, you don't. You actually fell into my trap. No, you don't. I planned this. Oh, I messed up all of your senses. Well, too bad you were already in my genjutsu, so it doesn't really matter.
It's very much like the Joker syndrome, where it's just like everything just falls into place for him. He plotted every single thing. It's just like, okay, so
of course he did.
They just sound too powerful at that point, and it's just not fun.
He's just so super duper smart that nobody can do anything. He's got a plan for everything. He's moved everybody into the correct place to where they want to be for him to be most advantageous. It's boring, and he did that quite a lot.
It's different from something like Crocodile, where it's just like, if this happens, do this. Like Vivi finally arrives at Arabasta.
There you go. Say it correctly.
And she finally arrives, and he has one of the people set off a martyr so she doesn't meet the leader of the rebellion. And it's like, okay, if Vivi arrives, do this. That's different from something like, you did exactly what I wanted you to do for me to get my goal.
The artwork by Kubo would quite notably be criticized for the first time for having a lack of background artwork. Fans began to notice the increasing white space that
It's who cares, but it's also true. Mm-hmm. Early on, it's like backgrounds fade into the white light, and later on, it's just like there's a lot of white background stuff.
Yeah, something like that I don't really care about.
Same.
It's there, but you can always say it's just for emphasis. Here's what you should be focusing on, as opposed to like just some crumbled buildings in the background.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah, who cares?
But it's, again, factual.
Yeah.
Characters were occupying on manga panels. At the time, I vividly remember fans feeling that Aizen's final form felt very uninspired and lackluster. The critiques of the Arrancar arc, coupled with the arc which directly followed it, all served as the perfect breeding ground for excessive criticism and hate. The Fullbring arc was negatively panned by the majority of fans and critics. Even to this day, it is considered to be the least favourable arc in the series. The widespread opinion of Bleach was still, however, salvageable, as the series would begin the 1000-Year Blood War arc, a story arc which revitalized the interest of many fans. However, after
Did he just download an AMV?
Yes.
And then couldn't even crop out the person's name?
I think he's giving him credit.
But then why there are two different ones?
He's giving him credit, and Soul Madness in the video went, "This is my video, I'm adding my own little watermark."
No.
Yeah.
So might as well just keep his watermark throughout the whole video. That's what people do.
the halfway mark of the 1000-Year Blood War, it too began to receive criticism. By the time the arc had concluded and the series ended, it was felt
Okay, and then it perfectly faded into the background, the dude's logo.
However,
when he did
after
the
halfway
crossfade.
mark of the 1000-Year Blood War,
Yeah, I
it
think
too
that
began
was
to
no
receive
longer an
criticism. By the time the arc
No,
Maybe
look,
it's two
look.
separate
And the
ones. Maybe it's
series-
two separate ones.
Two separate what, videos?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But it's from the same dude. This was his original watermark. This is his new watermark.
Or maybe the first one did not have a watermark and he added it himself, and then the second one did have a watermark.
I can't say that because it's perfectly fading into the background when he crossfades.
I don't know. I don't care. I'm just saying, he maybe should have just done his own footage. Because that added basically nothing. It wasn't really that interesting. It was like 3 shots. He shouldn't have even been there. Make your own stuff, homie.
ended, it was felt that the final arc had unresolved plot points and areas where it squandered its potential. I said
did.
earlier that I have my criticisms of the series, and they primarily stem from the conclusion of the 1000-Year Blood War arc. I could understand the
Wait, that is
frustration of fans
Earthquake.
and relate to some of their concerns. All of this criticism, frustration, and eventual disdain for the series would erupt when a video titled The Fall of Bleach How It Happened was uploaded by Super Eyepatch Wolf in August 2016. This video was uploaded 2 days before Bleach's final chapter was published. The timing was flawless. The video aims to piece together how Bleach fell to its knees, claims of diminished manga sales, a cancelled anime, and a shorter than expected final run of the manga were alleged. Apparently, Kubo was only given
Alleged? No, that's all true.
Yeah.
It declined in his manga sales. What was the second thing he said?
Something about anime.
Uh,
Anime Baby canceled.
Piece
Dude, it was a
together.
second ago. How did we not remember this?
dude, we usually remember things people said 40 years
Yeah,
ago.
but he just...
All right, let's see.
how Bleach fell to its knees, claims of diminished manga sales, a cancelled anime, and a shorter than expected final
Okay, the anime was not canceled.
Yeah,
That
that's a
was
mistake.
false. But the manga did fall in sales.
Mhm.
That's absolutely true.
And
And
it
it
was
was
a
a shorter than expected because
Yeah.
Kubo was hurt.
Yeah,
So he rushed the ending.
factual.
These are two factual things.
run of the manga were alleged. Apparently, Kubo was only given 3 weeks to end this 15-year-long series.
No, that's bull. But it shorter than expected run, absolutely true.
All of these statements pretty much lay out the video's premise. I remember watching this when it was first released, and not having done much background research, I believed most of what was being stated. But
Good call out on the way people consume their YouTuber stuff.
Absolutely.
I didn't do enough of my own research, so I just believed what I was
Yep.
told.
He sounds like he's making factual statements. He looks like he's done enough research. Why not believe him?
There's no reason not to believe it.
Yeah.
Except it's wrong.
What am I gonna do? Research this and find the same information? Nah, he got it. Look.
objectively, looking back at it now, this video has several problems which I wish to address. The video generally served to push an agenda which members of the larger anime community had latched onto. It became the cool thing to hate on Bleach. This was especially
No, it
the case.
didn't. Bleach was not always hated, but it was always sort of just like, it's not very good.
In America, it was easily the second of the big three, but as far as quality, I don't think it was ever above three
and-
of the big three.
And this is a problem because you got Ranch Bleach Sucks 8 years ago. That was before you shouldn't have added that because that kind of ruins your narrative of it became cool to hate Bleach. Now that dude hated Bleach before it was cool.
And, you know, top 5 disappointments in Bleach Final Arc. Okay, 5 disappointing things. Not necessarily a hatred thing, just like disappointment. And then you got top reasons why Bleach sucks, and it's got less than 500 views after 5 years. So how is it cool to hate it when these people aren't even generating a lot of views based on the hatred?
Eyepatch Wolf was already popular. Well, no, I think
That's the one he said exploded.
Yeah. But King of Lightning is definitely popular, so people just watch his videos.
And even then, only 58K.
Yeah.
After the anime had ended,
Now that's one,
in March
800K.
2012, Bleach was stereotyped as the black sheep of the big three. A trend emerged where content creators would speak poorly of the series, but would also post contradictory videos.
Yeah, these are the
to gain
ones you
views
should have
from
showed, these
announcements of new
100K
novels,
boys.
games, or a Bleach spin-off manga. I am not saying that Super Eyepatch Wolf is responsible for this, but his videos certainly helped to spread misinformation about the series, which served no other purpose than to tarnish the credibility of Bleach. People jumped onto the bandwagon with outlandish statements like the series had no character development, a claim which Super Eyepatch Wolf's video also focuses on. Now let's break down.
Did it?
Did it? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I remember him talking about Ichigo.
Yeah, that was his main thing, but
As
just
far as
blanket
no
statement,
character,
no character development,
I don't think that happened, sir.
The flaws in the arguments that this video presents. Starting with the whole backbone of this video, the video uses the data from the Shonen Jump ranking system to compare how the popularity of Bleach declined in comparison to One Piece and Naruto. To base the argument of your video on a ranking system which truthfully in the end has minimal to no input from the target audience renders this video baseless in my opinion. Super Eyepatch Wolf claims that
It's not baseless. It's just a poor base.
You should not have said in my opinion. Don't add that stuff. Don't
Yeah.
shut up.
Based, if you say in my opinion, that automatically contradicts your documentary style of facts and whatever. But
He's wrong in my opinion.
he is absolutely wrong. Just completely wrong.
Yeah, just say that.
It's a poor base, but it's not baseless because Bleach in essence did lose popularity, but the reasonings for why he said it are incorrect.
as time went on, Bleach was pushed further into obscurity into the back pages of Shonen Jump, but the order that new manga chapters appear within the pages of Jump does not necessarily represent their popularity. The ranking system was constructed by the Jump editorial team to promote whatever relevant series to the front of the magazine. This ranking system is entirely decided by Jump's chief editor. The order that the series appear in the pages of Jump are not decided by readers who mail out surveys which are attached to the back of the magazine. Even if they were, firstly, by the time the readers receive the surveys, fill them out, send them back, and for the editorial...
But then you have to ask yourself, why did the editorial staff push it to the back? We have no information as to why they did. We can only speculate, just as Eyepatch Wolf did.
Yeah, One Piece went from 2 to 1 and then just stayed at 1. Naruto went from 1 to 2 and then just stayed at 2. Bleach went from 3 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 13.
And you have to ask, why did that happen? What is the purpose of placing it at number 7? We don't know.
We don't know. There's not information for it.
Yeah.
No,
So Eyepatch Wolf is wrong in what he said, but we don't know why it happened. So he's wrong in the fact that the users selling the cards thing. That's why. But we don't know exactly why it was pushed to the back. So it's not a real big debunk in that matter.
If there was anything, if this was an actual documentary, this would be the time where you would do an interview with a chief of staff and go, why do you guys put a certain manga at slot 8 when it was number 2? This would be the time to give that information, but I don't know if he's going to provide it.
I don't think he is.
team to assess the results. Several weeks will have passed. The data from the surveys will be based on chapters which were published weeks ago. The purpose of the surveys is to gauge what series readers are finding interesting. The reader surveys play more of a significant part for newer series. Despite much speculation, nobody but the chief editor will know the real reasoning behind why the series appear in the order that they do.
Exactly.
This is the first argument of the video dismissed.
But here's the problem. it goes from 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 to 10, 11, 12 to 13. That is a downward trend. When things go down, we can only assume that it's not good.
It's not for a positive reason.
Yeah.
Now, it could have been.
Absolutely.
It could have been like when Wolf was like, they pushed Bleach to the back in the hopes that people would potentially read one of the most popular series and they would read through the whole thing. Yeah. Absolutely possible. But if you look at that downward trend, you just can't go, well, there's no problem here. There could potentially be a problem there.
Yeah, but again, nobody knows.
All you could do is infer information.
Yep. And given that information, I'd be like, oh, Bleach is stinking up the jerk.
Super Eyepatch Wolf continues by saying Kubo's artwork declined with time. He confuses his personal preferences for Kubo's artwork with its alleged drop in quality. He makes it clear that he likes Kubo's art style at the start of the series.
We already talked about it, but this is complete and total trash.
Yeah, this is dirt.
But then says he doesn't like it as the series progresses. I honestly think this is mixing up personal preferences with objectivity. Looking at it objectively, others may prefer the change in his artwork. That doesn't mean it has declined in quality just because you don't like it anymore. He also mentions how
Chad on the left sucked.
drew fewer backgrounds as the series progresses. He pays particular attention to Kubo's panels which have no backgrounds. He says the lack of prominent backgrounds negatively impacted Kubo's art. Kubo has gone on record to say that he enjoys placing emphasis on the mood of characters, and that backgrounds are less important to him. Especially when a new character is introduced, he chooses not to draw a background so that the reader can feel the mood that the character is giving off. This technique of utilizing...
There you go.
Absolutely.
But this also presents a little bit of a problem because early on he absolutely did draw backgrounds. So I don't know when his mindset changed or if it was always there, but the staff was like, let's get some backgrounds in there to make it flourish.
And then once he got established, he's like, well, I got a little more sway in Shonen Jump. I can just chill out on the black backgrounds then.
White space of manga panels is seen in several other shonen series. It is also used as a tool of emphasis and impact. Kubo truly knows how to combine his character designs with this technique. The end result are manga panels which feel truly impactful.
That is...
saying impactful.
That means nothing.
This is pure, just like with Wolf. That's pure your preference. I don't feel the impact of those panels.
Impactful. That means nothing to me. That tells me nothing of how it feels or how nothing. It feels impactful. My goodness. That's such a blanket whatever statement. Say what you mean.
As Bleach's story progresses, Kubo's art style evolved and changed, similar to any other respectable artist. He still drew excellent backgrounds in the latter portion of the series. These are examples of backgrounds which everyone seems to overlook. This artwork...
Those are backgrounds.
Yeah, those are locations.
Locations that are drawn to show the location itself. That's not the background. The background would be if the characters are standing there and you see this stuff.
Is not only well detailed, but it shows the real skill of Kubo.
And then you just showed the same one again. Dude, you went through the whole second half and went, okay, I got 3 images. Let's show the second image again, because
As an artist, reading through Bleach as a whole, you will
see, that's more background stuff, but even then, it seems more like the background is the focus.
It seems like an establishing thing. Here's this character.
See examples of backgrounds which help.
Again, that's the location. Yes. That's not the background. The background means the focus is on whatever the subject is. If the subject is the location, then of course it's going to be drawn in detail. If the subject is the person, the character, okay, what's going on in the background?
To bring the series to life, they aid in giving the reader a sense of atmosphere to the location.
That type of thing.
That the characters are in. Choosing not to place a background in exchange for purposeful emphasis and impact does not make you a lazy artist. In fact,
you can show the same image from a different angle.
That's fine.
It makes the artist come across as thoughtful.
And again, they're looking at that image. What are they supposed to do?
Okay, pause. Go back to the Ichigo thing, because that's kind of a bad point.
Examples of backgrounds which help to bring the series to life. They aid in giving the reader a sense of atmosphere.
Right there. The focus is on the thing in the back. If there was just a white space, there'd be nothing. It's the focus would be on Ichigo. But our eyes are supposed to be drawn to the thing in the background. This isn't like Ichigo is talking and then in the background it's just sort of like an establishing thing. The thing is in the background. So this is a bad point.
To the locations that the characters are in, choosing
Same
not to
thing.
place
He's looking at something right here. So this is our attention is not on Ichigo, but the thing itself.
background in exchange for purposeful emphasis and impact does not make you a lazy artist. In fact, it makes the artist come across as thoughtful in respect to the way that they are
Again, these are the locations. They're not the backgrounds.
visualizing and portraying their manga. This next point is probably the point that I disagree with Super Eyepatch Wolf the most on. It is his description of Ichigo as a character who has no defined goal or purpose. This apparently makes him less relatable to readers, especially when he is compared to characters like Luffy or Naruto, who each have their goals hammered.
Why would you have a cutout of Luffy and then just square up
it's
Naruto?
It's always weird. You can find a PNG of Naruto. He's quite popular. It's pretty popular, I'd say.
What would you say, like 2, 3? we gotta consult the manga for this.
Through to the reader throughout their respective series. A defined goal is not really required to create an intro.
What?
I'm looking like, oh, this look how easy it's gonna be to find a background image. Look at this. White. That's pretty good, but that's white. That's white. It's pretty bad.
Now, here's the thing. When I was rereading Bleach, I had remembered that whole white background thing that Wolf was talking about, and I went, wow, there really aren't a lot of backgrounds here. I personally don't care,
Yeah.
but there really aren't a lot of backgrounds here.
It's quite bad. It's pretty bad.
It's a lot of non-backgrounds.
Yeah, you would have to look for some backgrounds because, okay, here we go.
In this one chapter,
Chapter 645, if you want to fact check us.
we saw maybe 4 backgrounds on characters, 5 panels worth of backgrounds on a character. It's whatever.
Readers, especially when he is compared to characters like Luffy or Naruto.
I wonder if
each
you
have their
choose
goals
that just to
hammered
be like,
through
look, they're in the same pose, sort of similar pose.
Yeah, I can see that.
Reader throughout their respective series. A defined goal is not really required to create an interesting character. The most defining moment of Ichigo's life, which would shape his character in the series, is the moment that his mother dies while protecting him. As a child, he was powerless and unable to protect her, but now that he has the strength and power, Ichigo's resolve is to protect his loved ones.
That's like every character ever.
Yeah. Do more on top of that would be nice.
Mm-hmm. This is you talked about baseless for Eyepatch Wolf. This is the base of a character.
Yeah.
I have power now, so I want to protect my friends. Okay, that's cool. What else you got?
Yeah.
Cause you can run down the list of shonen characters and say that. Like it means very little.
This is the context behind why Ichigo is the way that he is. He doesn't have to follow the cliche shonen tropes to be an interesting character. Based on
What do you mean by cliche shonen tropes? You can't just say that and then just move on. You gotta define that. Are you talking about cliche shonen tropes of having a dream and a goal to work towards? You can't just drop that and just be like Ichigo is different from the cliche shonen people.
And a cliche shonen trope is a person that wants to protect people, get strong just to protect people.
And that's pretty cliche.
That's pretty tropey. And again, cliche trope does not equal bad, nor good.
logic, then it would be reasonable to assume that any protagonist who does not define their goal is clearly not a good character. Now this is obviously a ridiculous statement and an ill-founded argument to present within the video.
It's not ill-founded because he didn't find it. There's no facts there. It's just his opinion. There's nothing to research on it.
Which has nothing to do with the Fall of Bleach. It's just another case of mixing opinion with
It could have something to do with the Fall of Bleach if he was correct in it. If Ichigo's not a good character and it led to the Fall of Bleach, absolutely. Because early on, Ichigo is very animated and fun, and when he's around Rukia, kicking her and all this stuff.
The best stuff.
But then later on, it's very much just like walking in the rain, just waiting for something to happen, and then going, okay, I gotta get stronger now. He loses a lot of his fun personality later on. And if that's the case, people are going, well, I don't have that Ichigo anymore, so I'm going to stop reading it because that was my favorite character and he's no longer that character. That could absolutely be something. Again, Wolf is not correct in what he's saying, but there is a potential there to be correct.
You're not debunking them at all.
objective facts. Super Eyepatch Wolf.
No. The Fall of Bleach is not objective fact.
There's no way to quantify the Fall of Bleach because it is spread across millions of different people with millions of different opinions of why they believe that Bleach declined.
Ridiculous statement and an ill-founded argument to present within the video, which has nothing to do with the Fall of Bleach. It's just another case of mixing opinion with objective facts.
Okay, you've already said there were no facts and it was baseless arguments in that. So what did he mix with objective fact? It seems all like opinion piece.
Very odd.
Super Eyepatch Wolf personally doesn't like Ichigo's lack of a defined goal. He was unable to see Ichigo's growth as a character, but then assumes everyone else failed to see his growth also. Ichigo has several character-defining moments within the series. Later on, I will be covering each of them, and their significance to the larger plot that's being told. This particular point is used as the basis of many illogical arguments, that Ichigo has no character development. This could not be further from the truth.
Who cares about
Naruto and Luffy possess goals which serve themselves. The fact that they have such a selfish goal needs to be written out by introducing characters which bring depth to their personalities, like Luffy's Nakama or Naruto's Team 7. Ichigo inherently already has—
Pause. What was his point there?
Let's go back.
People need to be introduced around them in order for them to develop it. Because that's just false. I don't understand what he meant by this.
Let's see.
The fact that they have such a selfish goal needs to be written out by introducing characters which bring depth to their personalities.
The fact that they have such a selfish goal needs to be... There needs to be characters around them to develop their personality? What?
I don't understand that at all.
I don't either.
Again, Luffy don't care about One Piece. He cares about the adventure. And anybody in his crew that does not want to take part in it can get off his ship.
Yeah, they don't have to. I don't understand his point here. This is a really odd point. Luffy doesn't need his crew to like define his personality. What are you talking about?
He had 2 whole arcs, 3 whole arcs where the crew was not around. And what happened? Showcased his personality throughout the whole thing. Apple down, Amazon Lily Marineford. And then a flashback arc. So technically 4 arcs that did not involve his crew. Did his personality change? One of the best moments of Luffy is when Bola Hancock is like, you can get a boat or you can save them. And she goes, now let's see how you do this, man. And he bows his head and thanks her and says, you're really gonna save them? Thanks.
So great. What is he talking about?
So that showed off a lot of his personality without needing the other 9 crew members, didn't it?
And let's think about this in Naruto. What did Sakura do for Naruto's personality? What? Rivalry with Sasuke 100%. What did Sakura do? This is your point. This is terrible.
Like Luffy's Nakama or Naruto's Team 7, Ichigo inherently already has this depth. His friends and family are well established, but they are not needed to make Ichigo feel grounded, since his...
Okay, so you're saying that the Nakama is needed to make Luffy feel grounded. Are you really saying this? When we just said 3 arcs without them? That's terrible.
Terrible.
What?
They need to make Luffy feel grounded. But look, Luffy meets somebody. They are super nice to him. He says, you're my friend. Then he sees they're treated like, and he goes, well, I'm gonna go punch that piece of
How many arcs is Shippuden with Naruto not around Sakura? A lot.
Not around Sasuke.
No, I'm not even talking about that. That's so obvious. But he still felt quote unquote grounded. And you need to define what you mean by grounded as well. You're just saying words.
Desire already does that. His desire to protect his friends and family is where he derives his power and strength from.
Like almost every shonen character ever.
And then they have stuff on top of it.
Look at Natsu. The whole thing is like, you hurt my friend, I gotta power up and kick your butt.
And that's Natsu. And then he has his I want to find my dad thing. That's a big difference. He got the friendship thing and the protection, and then he got something else. Ichigo does not have that something else. Doesn't mean he's good, doesn't mean he's bad, but you're saying that he's good just because he has the same thing as all other shonen protagonists without any other thing to back it up. It's not even like he's like double protect at all costs. I'm gonna just kill myself and everybody around me to protect my friends. He's like baseline protect friends. It's nothing special.
Ichigo's motive to gain strength to protect others. Ichigo has an internal motivation stemming from an emotional past. His is a selfless desire.
Like everybody else, emotional paths leading to them wanting to protect the people around them.
As protagonists like Luffy or Naruto have external motivations.
Luffy don't care.
So
okay, go ahead.
He's basically saying that Ichigo is righteous and just for having a goal to protect people as opposed to a selfish goal.
What about when Luffy loses his entire crew and goes, I'm so weak, I'm such a piece of I couldn't protect a single one of them? What about when he loses Ace and then Jinbei's like, hey, calm that and Luffy's like, no, fight me, you piece of I'm not trying to hear that. And then Jinbei goes, what do you have nothing left in this world? And he cries and he goes, I have my crew. We're not strong enough for the new world right now. 3 days is not gonna cut it. 2 years, meet back up, get stronger, so we can go on more adventures together and I can protect everybody. He goes to Bluno. After Aokiji, I figured out a way so I don't have to lose a single friend ever.
Because that's the thing that he's missing out. It's Luffy's responsibility to protect those people. He go, you join my crew and I'm your captain. I'm the strongest person here. I have to protect you. That's Luffy's whole thing. It's not just a normal, I want to protect you. Because if you ask Chad, like, hey, you want to be protected? He's probably like, no. But somebody like...
You don't even got to ask him because so many times he's like, I want to stand beside you.
Side. Yeah. But it's Luffy's responsibility. Somebody dies on the crew. It's his fault because he's the captain and he could not stop it.
And his crew believe in him so much because Nami is about to be killed if she doesn't just say, hey, your captain's not going to be the Pirate King, is he? And she could just go, no, he's not.
And Usopp is just like, yep, lie. That's what you all just
protect yourself.
Yep. And she goes legitimately, probably outside of the flashbacks, the best part of Wano. That part is so f***ing good.
And she's just crying with a hand on her neck going, Luffy is going to be the Pirate King.
And now die. Here comes my death. That's what Luffy is to them. Ichigo, I'm sure he doesn't want to be protected. He don't feel for Ichigo.
It's his rival. His rival and friend.
It's a big difference in just... You're just going external. And that's all.
And again, why did Naruto want to be Hokage? Simply for the acknowledgement. He didn't want the responsibilities of a Hokage. He didn't want none of that. He wanted the village to look up to him and acknowledge him. And believe in him to protect them. What happens when Naruto loses a friend in Hinata? He goes berserk. What happens when he loses Sasuke against Haku? He goes berserk. Why? Because he has friends he wants to protect and he's failing at it. Most shonen people want to protect their friends. Even cowards like Usopp go, I'm the only person that can beat this girl.
Go on. And then even if you look at the best one-to-one comparison is Yusuke. And he's so much better that so much so that even Toguro was just like, oh, I get how to unlock yours. It's the friends.
Which one is it gonna be? Kuwabara. You're especially protective of that one. Let's go to it.
That's even a better one. But you see how he's not even mentioning that. He's just going, these two people are selfish and they pieces of crap, and Ichigo is selfish because he just wants to protect.
Let's go back to Yusuke. His mentor dies and he goes berserk. Then the tournament ends and he's just like, whoop, da-di-da-da-da, trying to be like rallying everybody because he doesn't want to feel that sadness that Genkai is dead.
It's fantastic.
Like Hokage or Pirate.
And again, going back, Team Toguro, not Team Toguro, Team Urameshi is his responsibility. He's the captain. Ichigo is just, I'm going to protect you whether you want it or not.
Ichigo has an internal motivation stemming from an emotional past. His is a selfless desire, whereas protagonists like Luffy or Naruto have external motivations like Hokage.
Pause, stemming from his past? Why does Naruto want to be Hokage? Stemming from his past. That's broken down, homie. It's external, absolutely. But it also stems from his past. He has a reason why he wants to be that, directly involved with his past.
Or Pirate King. These motivations are unrealistic and not as...
Luffy, he became the Hokage! It's so realistic! You look at every single Hokage before Kakashi, they're all related to Naruto! They're motherfucking born! It's 100% realistic, especially since it happened! What are you talking about?
grounded.
It's unrealistic! No!
Ichigo's.
He's the strong. He got the strongest beast. His one beast beats the tail half of his beast. Because he's got half the beast inside of him. Half of his beast beat 5 other tail beast bombs. Raw. No problem. He's got the strongest. He is the strongest in the village, and he's not a confirmed traitor like Sasuke. And he's got all the other bloodlines of the Hokage within him. Why not make him Hokage? It's 100%. Oh my goodness. Oh, wait a second. So wait a second. Ichigo's dream isn't unattainable because he comes up to the battle with Ukiura and Ishida's arm is missing. What about that? Why didn't he protect him then? That seems pretty unattainable. Especially when y'all split up. Especially when y'all split up 4 or 5 different directions and you can't protect Chad from getting his pushed in by Kimono Captain? What about then? That seems unobtainable. If you walk up there and Chad is just dead, it's just like, what now? Man, he's just doing whatever he can to make Ichigo seem the best possible that he can. This is trash.
Whereas protagonists like Luffy and Naruto
Welcome back.
motivations like Hokage or Pirate King. These motivations are unrealistic and not as grounded as Ichigo's. Ichigo serves to help others with his desire, whereas Naruto...
Luffy helps everybody.
Yes.
Anybody he thinks is worth helping. Enemies, friends, don't matter.
Wow. He's just saying that like Luffy and Naruto are just doing nothing.
Here's the thing.
I'm beating you, Pain, because I want to be Hokage, not because you're destroying my village.
Here's the thing. He's making it sound like they aren't also fighting to protect their friends. That their whole thing is, oh, I want to be Hokage. Oh, I want to be Pirate King. So, whatever over there.
I'm fighting you, Interlude, because you're blocking my path to become Pirate King.
They could have went down back to the Blue Sea and just went,
Like nothing happened.
what are you going to do? But he met a bunch of nice people and he went, I'm not letting you kill them.
In his lobby. He doesn't know that at that point, he doesn't know that he needs Robin in order to find Laugh Tale. So it's just like, you took my friend, that's not going to stand. And he wants her, Sanji. He does not need Sanji to be his chef. He can find any other chef. But he wants Sanji because he's his crewmate. He's been with him for so long. He knows that this is bullshit. There's so many other reasons.
Naruto aims to seek acknowledgement by attaining the title of Hokage, and Luffy wants to be the king of the pirates due to pure stubbornness.
No, what point
There
your
you
stubbornness?
go. There, I knew he was gonna misunderstand this. I knew it.
The Pirate King is the most free person on the ocean. Luffy wants freedom. And he doesn't care if One Piece actually exists. He just wants to be the most free. He wants the adventure. He's cool. He's cool not being the person that finds One Piece or whatever. He doesn't care if One Piece isn't whatever. He doesn't care if it's a note that goes, yes, you're here.
Good job, homie.
Cool.
And even going back to chapter 1, he says, when I find One Piece, I'll give you all my treasure, barkeep. He doesn't give a he just wants that title, the freedom. And again, go back. You go, Luffy just wants it because of the stubbornness. You have to ask, what do you mean by that? I don't know what you mean by that. And I've read One Piece back to front.
I've read it, I've reread it, and then I read the colored version.
I read it, I reread it, I watched the 4Kids, I watched the sub, I watched the dub several times. What is he talking about?
Because if it was so much just like, I want the One Piece, I want to become the Pirate King, he would have went, hey, tell me if One Piece is real, my mentor.
How do we get to it? The person that confirmed was there.
Usopp goes, hey, does it actually exist? And Luffy says, stop. If you say it exists, we're done. I'm not going on a boring adventure like that. I will quit being a pirate.
Non-canon material is Stampede. Here is a path directly to the One Piece. No, crush. I don't want it. I don't want y'all to have it. Nobody gets it. And we go on our merry little way. What the does he mean?
Nami literally shakes his neck and goes, in that movie, do you even care about finding One Piece at this point? He don't.
Difference is that Ichigo burdens himself with protecting others. However, his shonen contemporaries have some goals. Just because Ichigo...
Oh my goodness.
Luffy cried when all of his crew... He literally begged them to stop as Kuma was knocking them all away. Everyone's going, Luffy, protect me, save me. And he's crying and begging, stop. Stop this, please stop.
He is looking purely at the goal and nothing else. Zero things around it.
Why did he want Ace's fruit? He said, hey, Frankie, do you want to eat it? Frankie said, no, thanks. I don't want to lose my ability to swim. Well, the thought of a stranger getting it is no good. I would rather one of my friends have it. He cares about his friends. What happens when he beats Arlong? Nami, you're my friend and crewmate.
Nothing to do with One Piece.
If he cared about it, he would have dumped Usopp 1,000 years ago and picked up somebody else. Instead, he cried over his ship. He says, Mary, we're the ones that's sorry. Usopp can't fix you. I broke a bunch of stuff. So did Zoro because he's a dummy. We're the ones that's sorry. No, it was so much fun. And he cried over his ship dying.
This dude, he is poisoning the well so much by going, these two people are so selfish and Ichigo is so selfish. Look at this. Look, they're external. They only want to go to the One Piece. They only want Hokage. Ichigo wants to protect his friends, unlike these two bums. This is unbelievably disingenuous. And this is my least favorite things about analysis. This is terrible.
Desire is not grandiose or self-serving. Does not mean that it should be overlooked or it doesn't exist.
It does exist, but it exists in just about everybody.
Yes.
I want to protect the people that are close to me that I care about.
Who doesn't want that? Legitimately. I can't think of any protagonist that's like, die.
Doffy wanted to do that.
Doffy did. Doffy cried over Virgo and Monet.
He's a slaver.
He is a sack of garbage.
He legit signed off on the experimentation of kidnapped children.
Gecko Moria went, okay, all of my crew was wiped out by Gecko Moria.
By Kaido.
Kaido. So I'll just make a crew that just can't die, and they can just worry about themselves. I don't have to worry about protecting anybody, because they can't be killed again.
And what happens when Blackbeard gets Absalom? Gecko Moria goes to the island like, where is my friend? Oh, he dead. And then
Shocked
he gets
face.
mad.
These are villains. What are you talking about?
Arlong, Luffy and all of them are like, oh, we beat this person. And then Arlong gets super mad because his crewmates are lying in front of him.
How did Haku die? Protecting Zabuza. No, but only Ichigo protects people. Only Ichigo cares about people. Cut this off. I'm done with this video. This is unbelievable. This is making me legitimately mad. How hard he has to poison his well to make Ichigo seem good. This is disgusting.
The difference between Ichigo to Naruto and Luffy is that he lives in the real world. He is an average teenager who is at a crossroads in his life. At the beginning of the Fullbring arc, he even states that he is not sure what he wants to do after school. Like most of us, we never really know until we get there. Naruto and Luffy, on the other hand, live in worlds which are constructed around their self-serving goals.
So Ichigo becomes a Soul Reaper. That's what his path laid out for him.
He sort of tripped into that role too.
You think there aren't real jobs in One Piece? Bartenders, doctors, scientists, news people,
Marines,
reporters,
Navy, shopkeepers, teachers. What do you mean the world is constructed around their selfish beliefs? What do you mean by that? Dude.
Hey, what was Sanji doing before he became a pirate? He was just a chef on some boat. Chopper's just a doctor on some island.
Naruto wants to be the Hokage in a ninja world. Luffy wants to be Pirate King in a world of pirates and
Pirates existed.
Is this your point? That because they want to be the number one thing in their field, the world is shaping around their goal? Are you serious with this?
Marines. Their goal is something which will affect the nature of the world that they live in. If we use an analogy, Luffy and Naruto are like the X-Men, who decided to change the perception of the world to accept mutants. Ichigo isn't just a Shinigami, he has a life outside of his ability to protect others. Adding to the analogy, he is like Spider-Man. Being the friendly neighborhood wall crawler is Peter Parker's side job.
So you think the X-Men don't go to actual school? They don't have actual jobs? Is this what you think? They just sit in that mansion until the next big threat comes? Is that what you think the X-Men do?
This is embarrassing. This is legitimately embarrassing.
He still has to go to school, manage relationships, and work a job, similar to
Like the X-Men do? There's a love quadrangle between Wolverine, Jean Grey, Scott Summers, and Emma Frost. Kitty Pryde and Colossus are getting married. Or they've gotten married recently. I can't remember which one. So what?
So what?
And even if Luffy becomes the Pirate King, what perception changes? Are pirates just gonna stop?
Can he make any laws? Can he change anything? Or can he just go anywhere and do anything that he wants?
Pirates are gonna keep pirating. It's just gonna... Because, there were pirates before Gold Roger became a pirate. Before he became the Pirate King. So, okay, I have a One Piece. I don't care about it.
And he's talking about Ichigo has a job and all that. Going over to Naruto. Ino is both a ninja and she works at a flower shop. Tenten is both a ninja and she owns a weapon shop. Shino is a teacher and he's a ninja. They still have other responsibilities outside of being a ninja. Dude.
Ichigo, their worlds are not constructed with purposeful barriers for them to overcome. They play a juggling act and serve to balance the plates in order to live their most fulfilled life. A bit like...
How much time do they spend in the real world after Soul Society?
It is so... I wish somebody would take how much samurai sword bush there is compared to normal, not even normal Japanese stuff, just stuff in Japan. It's gotta be like 30, 70.
And maintaining relationships, who did the main characters hook up with? Oh, all the people already around them that was fighting with them and everything else, just like the X-Men?
Us in real life. Ichigo's desire is also a relatable one. People would like to protect their loved one.
It's not relatable to be the best in your field. It's not relatable to be shunned for most of your life and go, I want people to acknowledge and respect me. It's not relatable to just be like, I want to do what I want to do. That's not relatable.
Good, bad, whatever.
I want to make my hobby my career. That's not relatable. It's only relatable to protect people.
It's a design.
Do you see this? How do people accept this? How can somebody like One Piece and Bleach and then listen to this dude and like, yeah, Luffy isn't relatable. Yeah, he's right.
Can relate with. If you have had anyone pass away or be hurt through no fault of their own, then you too will be able to relate to each.
Naruto and Luffy. What are you talking about?
Both happened.
Luffy had his brother die. His brother died. His mentor lose an arm because of him. A bunch of his friends almost died. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
Naruto
is so broken up that he couldn't protect his one friend from darkness that he makes that his life mission.
What
How
are you
is that
talking
not
about?
relatable? Just going, I lost a friend because of some old bush. How is that not relatable? My goodness. This is worse than the second one.
Yeah, this is absolutely.
And we haven't even... what is this ratio looking like? My goodness.
Oh yeah, we can't even see the ratio now.
It's a pretty bad one. Let's say
Bleach has a
that.
template cyclical plot. So admittedly, the Arrancar
Cyclical.
arc had some similarities to the Soul Society arc, but it had considerable differences.
Yes, but that's not what he talked about.
Hey, you want to debate this for an hour and a half?
Didn't we debate this already? Yes, there are similarities. Yes, there are differences. Do not gloss over the similarities to talk about the differences.
Yes.
Wolf's problem was there are a lot of similarities. Don't go, yes, they are, but let's look at why they're similar. They are similar. That was his point, and he is correct in that.
And you are also correct that there are differences.
Absolutely.
But do not disregard the fact that there are similarities.
Which made it stand alone as an arc of its own. There is a reason that the popularity of Bleach was at an all-time high during the Arrancar arc.
There isn't.
Yes, there is.
No, he doesn't know that for sure.
He doesn't know that for sure. Yeah, that's not factual. But the reason is there were two super cool new villains in Ulki and Grimjaw. You had the cool, strong, silent dude that people love. You had the outlandish fight man that people love. And then in the end, you still got Aizen that you got to go to. Mm-hmm. So you had two cool new villains that people attached to and really like, plus the guy that they still need to beat that was the villain from the past arc that all led to this arc. It was very intriguing, and there were a lot of characters that people liked that were new. Shoot, early on the Vizards, I'm sure a lot of people liked. They ain't douche, but I'm sure they liked them.
That Bleach follows a template cyclical plot structure is plainly just wrong. The arc that follows the Arrancar arc is the Fullbring arc, and this has a totally different story structure to the past arcs.
Okay, yeah, you're that's the obvious one. That's just like whoever it was with the whole One Piece and similar arcs, and then just go, we're not going to talk about Marineford. But yeah, no, this is absolutely, this is 100% different. Of course it was. But yeah, this is 100% different. But what about the other two? What about the Arrancar and the Soul Society, which are very similar?
Eyepatch Wolf confuses the structure of the story with the way that it is executed. The structure of most of Kubo's plots are set in 3 phases. First,
Like Cyclical?
You just said it's not cyclical, but then it goes, here's how most of the structure is.
there is an initial encounter which doesn't fare well for the protagonist. Secondly, the characters undergo training and develop their abilities. And lastly, after training is completed, there is a final confrontation.
Man, that
That
happens
is the
a
basic
lot.
structure of a Bleach story arc. There is nothing wrong with having a similar story structure as long as the execution is different. In the Arrancar arc, Kubo begins
Hold on. That was very like base level. Protagonist face villain that's too strong. Train, win. That's very base level.
Yeah. But he's using that to just go, yeah, it's base level, and it can be broken down as such because it's what happens in the middle and all this other garbage.
with the Arrancars coming to Karakura Town and having a scrap with the Shinigami. But in the Thousand Year Blood War arc, it begins with an absolute massacre of the Soul Society. The training in the Arrancar arc focuses heavily on the development of Ichigo. However, in the Thousand Year Blood War arc, several other characters are given their opportunity for training and growth. The finale of both of these arcs have a final confrontation, which is reliant upon Ichigo in both of them. But in the Thousand Year Blood War arc, he teams up with several of his allies to take down.
But is Ichigo there as well?
Is it also reliant on Ichigo?
Who gets the final blow?
Ishida, I guess.
No, it's Ichigo.
Oh yeah, he sure does. Yeah, Ishida shoots him and then Ichigo gets the final blow.
The key point I want to drive home here is that the execution of the story is far more important than the structure.
Okay, you talked about Arrancar and Fullbring. You talked about Arrancar and you talked about Thousand Year Blood War. You did not talk about Soul Society and Arrancar, which was what Wolf was talking about.
Nope. No, because he knows that there are similarities. And he can't, he just goes, I'm just not even going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about the different ones.
Through the execution, you get the unique attributes which set each arc apart as its own independent story. If Cyclical story structure was bad, then One Piece can also be criticized to the same extent. Wasn't it One Piece that had multiple rescue arcs? Initially,
They've had two. Robin and Sanji.
Maybe Arlong.
No. Because she was free to do whatever she wanted. As far as you've taken away my friend or taken away somebody of importance to me and we have to go get them.
Yeah, it sounds like he's not too familiar with One Piece based upon not only his critiques of it at this point, because we've said all this whole time, go on island, befriend somebody, evil dictator, punch dictator, peace out. That's what he should have brought up, but he goes, multiple rescue arcs. And even still, One Piece has, 20 arcs? And if you go...
That is way low.
Let's go 20. And if you go, 5 of them are rescue arcs. That's still just like, okay, but half of Bleach's are rescue arcs. Provably. That's a bigger number.
I think the first half of One Piece, like the pre-time skip, has 20 arcs. I mean, it's a lot of arcs in One Piece.
That's pretty big number.
the rescue of Nami, then Robin, and most recently the rescue of Sanji.
No, it's not the rescue of Nami. That's not what happened. Nami could have left at any time. Sanji could not leave. Robin could not leave.
But again, even still, that's 3 and 30. That's rescue arc. 10 arcs later, rescue arc. 10 arcs later, rescue arc. As opposed to rescue arc, combo into rescue arc. Do you see the problem there? You've named 3 rescue arcs. Bleach got 2 and 4 arcs. Dude.
Why is it that Bleach has the finger pointed at it when it's... Because
half of their arcs are rescue arcs.
Yes. And if you want to stretch it like you just stretched the Nami thing, Ishida is with the bad guys. We gotta go get Ishida from whatever the Vingswags or whatever they're called. So we can count it as 3 if we're counting it as 2. If we're counting it 3 in One Piece, we can count it as 3 in here.
So
we can count it as 4 if you want to go. Chad is with the bad guys. We gotta go see what Chad's up to and get him back.
Or when that dude is cutting everybody and everybody's lost, and it's just like, well, I gotta rescue everybody.
If you want to do this, we can do this.
If you want to stretch it so much for Nami, because again, Nami could have left.
But even still, 3 rescue arcs and 30 arcs. That ain't bad. You've done the wrong analogy, dude.
Contemporaries do the same thing. In Naruto, there are multiple attempts to rescue Sasuke.
There's one time to rescue.
Yes.
There's one actual rescue arc.
And the rest are just like, we gotta get Sasuke. What? Nope, that's just a get Sasuke, because we know Sasuke is here, let's try to bring him back. That's not a rescue arc, because he's free to do whatever he wants.
There are 2 rescue arcs. There's rescue Sasuke, or Sasuke retrieval, whatever you want to call it, and there's the Gata once he's killed. There are 2 rescue arcs.
In the 7-8 arcs of Naruto.
And even that number is kind of low.
I'm really bad with counting things.
Not to
I
mention,
can't count. But these, again, just bad points in this. Look, they're doing the same thing. Okay, but again, you gotta look at this other than just a big blanket statement. You're just looking at 3 rescue arcs. 2 rescue arcs and 4 arcs. 2 rescue arcs and 8 arcs. 10 arcs, 20 arcs, whatever Naruto got. You're just going, look, they do rescue arcs too. Why don't they get criticized? Wham, my Bleach.
Here's the thing. You're talking about why don't they get criticized and stuff. But then you also talk about it's not fair to just look at this cyclical thing for Bleach without looking at the execution of it. The reason they're not criticized is their execution is better. It doesn't feel... The Nami rescue arc, quote unquote, does not feel like the Robin one, does not feel like the Sanji one. The Gata one does not feel like the Sasuke one. The Rukia one feels like the Orihime one. Execution, if that's what you want to talk about, execution and such and such.
the rescue of Gaara. With all due respect, the typical structure of a One Piece arc is as follows. Number 1, the Straw Hats arrive at a new island and explore it.
Stop saying Arabasta!
It is! That's what it's called!
Number 2, they meet someone who informs the Straw Hats about how evil the leader of the island or area is. Luffy has an initial confrontation with the villain and loses. And lastly, Luffy and company beat the villain the second time.
Why did he use the rescue arc instead of this?
Yeah, this is what he should have went to.
It's terrible. Because he know that there's no hard structure to Naruto. So he just goes, look, I'm comparing Naruto with their rescue arcs as well as One Piece, and then here's the One Piece structure.
Save the people of the island, and as a result, they make a ton of new friends. This doesn't make One Piece a bad series, just like the arc structures of Bleach don't make it a bad series. I must give credit to Super Eyepatch Wolf, as he has apologized for the misinformation that was spread as a result of his video. Despite this video being 3 years old, the misinformation it has spread has not ceased amongst the larger anime community. The point of the video...
Because people are stupid.
Yeah, and they're spreading your misinformation as well. So don't even try to be like, oh, it happens with everybody. Everybody who has fans, who says something, who's even a little bit credible, they're going to have people just parroting their stuff.
The masses' initial information is what fuels what they believe for however many years, until they do their own research or they get pointed out something and they finally look at it. Because, you know, there's people as far as 2 years back still believing the Xbox One couldn't play used games because of the information that came out before it even released. It's absolutely ridiculous how much the masses just do not get information. And they're not interested in it. Yeah, if they were, they would research this on their own.
But like you said, you just listened to it yourself and just went, "Yep, that's right. That's what people do." And you're foolish to think that your fans, the people who are listening to you right now, aren't going to do the same thing when you just go, "Luffy is selfish."
video was
and then move on.
look at the sales and data to put together an argument that Bleach had fallen from grace. But it ends up being a confused video with a mix of personal opinion as fact, which serves to only portray Bleach in a negative light, which I'm sure was not his intention when he set out to create the video.
Absolutely, but when he brings up numbers, he can't really argue with like, it was selling 2 million here, and now it's selling 1.3 million here, and now it's selling 7,000 here. That's like, well, those are hard numbers. You can't really argue with that. Personal bias, whatever.
Also, you've already said this.
Are you telling me that he's repeating himself in a droning manner?
Maybe not droning. Definitely repeating.
Monotone.
Monotone droning.
This highlights that popularity rightfully has no correlation with quality, which is the argument that
Nope, doesn't.
100% not.
Absolutely
No, it does
not. Otherwise, My Hero would be not selling very well right now.
But it is a good gauge of interest.
Yes.
If people fall off of Bleach and go, I'm not gonna buy it anymore. That's somebody who's just like who's not a dollar sign anymore.
No longer interested.
Who's not getting that information and they're not interested anymore. So that's a gauge of interest, not a gauge of quality.
we were presented with here. Now that we know what damage was done to the series, I want to further address issues that people have with the plot of Bleach. Let's look at what each story arc brought to the table, and its significance to its characters and the larger story being told. Are the criticisms related to its story arcs and character development justified? What exactly was the story that Bleach was trying to tell? Arc by arc, I want to attempt at briefly describing the events and critically analysing what occurred. I will be paying particular attention to the themes within each arc, and their larger significance to the ongoing narrative of the story.
Themes.